Imagine this, you are living your human life and you've basically always kind of felt like an outcast because you are experiencing things that most humans don't seem to experience. You are experiencing animalistic behaviors that you tie to a specific animal. And then suddenly you find a community where there are people who have the exact same experience. They experience animalistic urges and instincts and behaviors and they tie it to a specific animal. They identify as a specific animal. You find out that you are a Therian. But what do you do now? Will you tell the people around you? Will they understand that? I'm here to help you with that. Hi guys, welcome back to my Therian territory. You may call me Thorn, and in today's video I wanted to explain to you all when to know you can come out as a Therian or otherkin and how to come out as a Therian or otherkin. Like I said before, I can totally understand if you've ever felt like you wanted to express your animal self towards the people around you in your real life. But the problem is, coming out isn't easy, and to some it's even impossible, unfortunately. This society simply has not caught up to this level of open-mindedness yet, and we will simply have to wait for a while. Before you ever come out to a friend or family member, it is very important to realize 3 questions that I will be going over with you guys. Question number 1 that you have to ask yourself is, do I have to come out as ultra-human? Do I have to come out as a Therian or otherkin? This question is luckily a given because I can answer it for you guys. The answer is no. You do not have to come out as a Therian or otherkin to be Therian or otherkin. The reason for this is because any ultra-human identity is basically invisible. When you look at an ultra-human, you cannot tell from the outside, whether it's behavioral or with looks or anything like that they are ultra-human. Generally, ultra-humanity is also not out of control, so behavioral-wise, usually it is also not visible. If you decide to express your ultra-humanity in any way, that's your own choice. So the idea of coming out is probably rooted in the idea of coming out as LGBTQIA+. But the thing is that if you have any of those identities, those are not invisible. You have to kind of come out to your family members and friends in order to live your life as you truly are, because it's visible. If you want to be yourself as a gay person, you're going to have a same-sex partner. And if you want to be your full self as a trans person, you're gonna have to change a couple things about your looks and stuff. At least most transgender people, of course. So usually you have to come out as LGBTQIA+ if you want to live your life as your full self. However, for any ultra-human identity, this is not the case. You can still be a Therian or otherkin if you just don't show it to anybody. So it's very important to realize that you don't have to come out. It's not a must. So if you feel like it's impossible to come out to your loved ones, that's okay. And you still have the community around you and everything like that. Now, the second question is, can you come out? It is important to realize that Therianthropy and otherkinity is something that you have to be very open-minded for to understand. We push the boundaries of the concept of identity because it is something entirely non-physical. We claim to be something physical that we are physically not. This is a lot to take in, and definitely not everybody will be able to understand this. No matter how sweet and kind your family members are or your friends, they may still not understand it, and that's okay. I hear stories of people in the Therian community coming out and it just simply terribly going wrong. And it can go wrong, and that's important to also realize. Coming out can go wrong. What I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't take this action very lightly. You shouldn't just randomly come out without thinking about it first and without testing out things first. So the first thing you have to think for yourself is the person who I want to come out to generally a close-minded person? You can, for example, question if they sometimes judge people simply for who they are, for something that they cannot help. Just a big tip here, if said person has ever questioned the validity or has ever been negative towards people of the LGBTQIA+, then they are most definitely not going to understand Therianthropy. Because ultra-humanity is like even a step further. Like if you don't accept the LGBTQI+, then you're definitely not gonna accept ultra-humanity. Though maybe not always, the same would probably go for highly religious people who believe that you cannot possess certain identities because it goes against your religion, for example. If all of that is not the case, however, if the person who you want to come out to is not like highly religious or anti-LGBTQI+, then perhaps you can test things out. You can ask what they think about furries, for example, or you can ask them what they think about spiritual animals or anything alike. All those kind of things that are not directly related to therianthropy or otherkinity. Is the response positive or neutral? Then perhaps it may be time to think about how you could potentially come out to them. So question number 3 is, how do I come out as alterhuman? How do I come out as a Therian or otherkin? So basically the best way to know for sure is by sort of introducing the concept of alterhumanity, so therianthropy or otherkinity or anything alike, without necessarily tying it to something that you would necessarily relate to or that you feel like you are or anything like that. You have to basically introduce the concept to said person while it is separate from you. That way, if they reply negatively, at least they don't judge you specifically. You could show them a video of alterhumans, or you could like show them a blog of someone expressing their therianthropy or otherkinity, and you could basically just kind of show them like, hey, what do you think of this? You could kind of pretend as if you are interested in it and hearing it for the first time and wanting to conversate about it. Or if the conversation about the connection of a certain being in any way ever comes up, you could kind of introduce the concept there, saying like, oh, I've actually heard of Therians, or I've actually heard of otherkin or alterhumans. If they reply negatively, then simply back off. It's fine. You do not want to give them that awkward position where you have introduced them to the concept, they express negativity towards it, and then you say, oh, well, actually I am one. You don't want to do that. That's harsh. Simply don't take it personally because they don't know that you identify with the concept, and just back off. It's okay. You tried. And if they reply positively, perhaps slowly and surely try to tell them that you kind of relate to the concept. Perhaps you can tell them that you are kind of looking into maybe calling yourself such. Maybe explain to them what you are experiencing yourself and compare that to the concept of alterhumanity and kind of say like, oh yeah, that actually kind of looks alike. It's also important to remain open-minded towards them, because if you're gonna tell them like, I'm not crazy, this is nothing bad, and I'm not gonna go to hell or anything like that, then they will assume that it is something that is related to that. Then they will assume that it is something bad. The most important thing is to give them time and let the idea sink in a little bit. Slowly but surely be more comfortable around them with your animalistic or any other type of behaviors. But don't like immediately come out to them the next day with a tail on your butt and everything, because they might be thinking, oh hell, and kind of regret being open-minded towards you for it. Speaking of which, it's also totally okay to simply ask the person if they are comfortable with you wearing such excessive accessories, because it is quite something, you know, and they have to walk next to that. I very often ask this as well before doing so with my non-alterhuman friends. And the last tip I can give is that if they decide to ask you questions, definitely answer them, because that's exactly what you want. You want to be able to educate them on the concept, because the more they know, the less ignorant they'll be, the less judgment there will be. That's why it's also important to have done a lot of research. Anyways, if you really want to come out to a loved one, then I wish you the best of luck, and I really hope that they will remain open-minded. Should it go wrong, you will always have the community on your side, of course, because that's exactly what the community is for. That's the whole reason why we are here, is because we are there to sort of share the experience and have your back and validate your experiences as well. And I believe in you, no matter the outcome. Next week I'll actually post a video called This Person's Trying to Come Out to You as a Therian. It is Therian specific for now because that's what I have most knowledge of and that's most easily explainable for me. But please do make sure to think about these steps before ever sending that video, because that is like the last resort kind of thing. Like, okay, you thought about everything, now it may be time to send the video. So please be careful with that. I will also make sure to warn the people who will watch that video about that to watch this video first. It's kind of a two-step thing. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a like down below or maybe comment down below. Or if you have any critique, you can also comment down below, of course. And if you really like my videos and want to see more in the future, perhaps consider to subscribe. And now I'll be seeing you guys in my Therian territory in the next video. Bye. A massive thanks to my Therian territory members Bloody Toomey, Daphne Sten, Scar, Shadow the Wolf, Arden Zephyr, Thomas, Voilo, and Waita. Join the Therian territory membership for early access, extra features and content, and more personal contact with me.